I didn't know that we were one of the places that's losing canopy so fast.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Cottonwoods are kind of short-lived.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And of course, our storms can really break several trees in a year. But yeah, I mean, here trees might as well be worth their weight in gold.
Definitely.
Here in the desert, and certainly in terms of keeping things cool. But right now, actually, I'm looking at some rain and clouds keeping things cool near Buffalo Thunder, Pueblo, Poake. As I have the camera tilted out toward, I should say, panned out toward the west, looking at the Jemez Mountains. There's a good little bit of rain falling there. Much needed. We're not getting any sort of flood alerts, at least from that mountain range. But we are looking at some flooding in other parts of the state. More about that in just one moment. I do want to show you the conditions right here in Albuquerque. We do have some storm clouds brewing over the Sandia Mountains. At this moment, it's still relatively quiet within the Albuquerque metro. One area that I'm watching very closely, and this really bears paying attention to if you lived within this zone. We have some flash flood warnings pretty much all across the eastern slopes of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains because of rain which has been falling over the last hour, but also some storms renewing themselves just north of Cimarron. And if they're happening in the mountains, then they have to flow somewhere. That rain water has to flow somewhere. And this is how we get flooding happening. So if you live within this warned zone, just make sure you're keeping that phone on. Do not try to drive through any sort of flooded areas, because we've seen this week how dangerous it can be. Back to those clouds that we're seeing, at least on our Rio Rancho cam. Can see that there's some rain falling on top of looks like the Manzano Mountains, perhaps across the eastern slopes. And right here, some isolated storm activity to the south of Las Vegas. But that's about it. I mean, we are getting some signs of some light rain over there in McKinley County. But all in all, this is about it. We're not seeing much action happening across central or southern New Mexico right now, especially as you get down to the southeast. And normally that wouldn't be so great, but in terms of what Ruidoso's been dealing with, this is really good news. And it looks like we're going to continue to see that drying pattern for the rest of the evening. Those storms are really going to start to break apart after sunset in the North Mountains, but they're back in a big way once again for tomorrow. Isolated storms in the north and a slight chance in the Ruidoso area and Sacramento Mountains for some rainfall. We're going to be watching because it takes one storm, and usually it has to be a line directly over those burn scars. Through Thursday, we still have some moisture to work with, but really across western areas of the state into the northern terrain, the higher mountains. Across the southeast, though, still staying dry. But Friday brings those changes to New Mexico. Monsoon moisture is going to be streaming in from the south, and that means scattered storms across southern New Mexico, isolated out toward the east. The flood threat will return into the north central mountains, and that takes us through Saturday and also Sunday. So make sure that if you plan on going to the high terrain, especially in the north, that you are aware of what you're heading into. Make sure you have the forecast ready with you as you head out. Now, across the southeast for tomorrow, it's still going to be a dry and hot day. Most areas in the 90s. The southwest looking relatively dry. I think higher elevations like in Catron County might pick up some rain showers. Otherwise, the rain is going to hold off till the weekend for Roswell. For Silver City, though, you're going to be heading into a cooling trend into the 70s as we approach the weekend. Across northern New Mexico, I'm anticipating a little bit of a drier situation out toward the northeast, but we could get some pretty good high terrain showers across the northwest. All in all, I'm calling for about a 20% chance on Thursday for Farmington. Las Vegas is really going to be feeling that cool air by Saturday, as well as those rain chances. Across the North Mountains for tomorrow, looking drier than we're seeing for today. 82 for your high in Santa Fe. But look at Friday, Saturday into Sunday. We both see the cool down and the increase of rain chances out there. East Mountains into the metro. Going to be kind of a warm day for this time of year. We're looking at low 90s from Belen into the South Valley. Many areas across the metro will be in the low 90s. And I'm expecting Rio Rancho and Albuquerque to really start cooling down. And I'm talking about this weekend, highs only in the 70s.